Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to share with you some recommendations for David Walliams books. Now these are targeted to middle grade and children. So without further ado, here goes. So let me start with what most of David Walliams' books are targeted towards. Now all of his books always have a little girl or a little boy as the main protagonist, and the story always revolves around that person. Now in all of his books you can find a beautiful moral towards the end of the book, and somehow I felt like this is not just for kids but also for young adults and adults. Like, I equally enjoyed the book and learned so much more by reading through his books. Now this one, for example, The Midnight Gang, is all about a bunch of kids who are at a children's hospital. So there's always like an emotional element to it instead of a fun story. Now there are a lot of people who compare David Walliams to Roald Dahl books, and I agree with that in a way, but I also feel that in Roald Dahl books are mostly just fun. So like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Fantastic Mr. Fox or James and the Giant Peach, it's all about imagination and a whole like different world with like fun elements in the real world. Whereas I feel like David Walliams books are more like more so have like an emotional element tag to it. So you learn something at the end of each book, even if you feel like the book is just fun and just flowy and it has like kids and things like that, you still learn something in the end. Now this one, for example, The Boy in the Dress, was one book I totally enjoyed. Now this book was about a little boy who could not accept who he was. He loved wearing dresses, and which obviously for his age and his school and his peers, it was not a common thing. So he was always ridiculed and his parents didn't want him to do that, and he just didn't feel comfortable as to who he was. And then he meets a girl who like helps him understand that whoever he is who he is, and he needs to accept that and be proud of that. But the way the story is written, where you join the journey of the little boy, is just beautiful. I have a whole separate review video for this book. I will link it in the card above. Now, Gangster Granny is focused on elderly people and how we shouldn't forget elderly people and give them the attention and the love that they need. Again, this is about a little boy and his grandmother, and how initially he used to get so bored of going to his grandmother's house and staying with her, and it used to be like the most boring thing in his life. But his granny makes up these stories, and he starts building these stories with her, and they eventually become like really good friends. So this is a great one to try as well. This one, Mr. Stink, is about a little girl who wants to help the homeless people, which also I found extremely endearing. So this little girl is super rich and she lives with her mom and dad and her sister, and she finds a homeless man and decides to help him. So again, by the end of the book, you will start empathizing to the little girl, and you will feel like there's so much more in this world than just materialistic love. This one is Billionaire Boy. Now this one I read pretty recently and I loved it just as much. It feels like with every book I just start enjoying the book so much more. This one is about a little boy who is a billionaire because his dad is like a super famous entrepreneur. But the boy has everything that he wants in the world, but he doesn't have friends. So this book focuses more on what money means to children, or money should ideally mean to children, and how people are more important than just a piece of paper. I think this book as well, The World's Worst Children, all of these books are just amazing and so inspiring and motivating. They make you look at things in a whole different light. I know that all of us probably already know these things and how we should be like treating people, or how we should be like thinking about money, or how we should be treating our elders. But somehow this book makes you feel for the protagonist, and you at the end feel like you have actually invested so much more. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.